Our sponsor for this hour is Adam and Kara Miller. Adam and Kara's Arbonne business has transformed their family, both physically and financially. With 400 plus pure, safe, and clean products, including nutrition, skincare, makeup, and baby care, they never worry about harsh chemicals. Even their sweet boy with Down syndrome, Charlie Roy, thrives on the protein and baby care line. Thank you, Adam and Kara, for your support of DSDN. Hello again. Welcome back to our DSDN Day live streamathon. Thank you so much to anyone who is tuning in live today. We truly appreciate you watching and just supporting our team as we do this 12-hour live stream. So this hour, and so I'm just going to start by saying that parents are the heart of our mission. Everything we do is for the new and expectant parent that is receiving a Down syndrome diagnosis or has recently received a Down syndrome diagnosis. And so part of today is hearing from those rockin' parents. We call them rockin' parents because we believe our kids rock their extra chromosome, but we get this special opportunity to hear from different parents. So it is my pleasure to welcome Etsuko James to the live stream. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to get us started?
Sure. My name is Etsuko James. I am a wife and a mom to four beautiful girls. Three of them are my bonus daughters. I call them, I inherited them when I got married. And our youngest, who's rocking the extra chromie, is 3 years old. We live south of Atlanta, South Metro Atlanta area, and we are just rocking it out, loving music, traveling. I'm half Asian, so all things Asian cuisines. so, yeah.
Well, I love that. Thank you for sharing about yourself. And so our talk today, we're going to hear a little bit about, just what your journey has been with DSDN, what that's looked like, and then also your experience as a volunteer. That is where I see your name. That is how I know you, is because you are just doing so much for us on our online support team. And so we truly appreciate you. But before we dive into the work that you do as a volunteer, why don't you share what has been the most meaningful part of connecting with other families through DSDN?
Sure. So for me, I didn't find DSDN until a little later. She was about 2.5. And so the most amazing part of being a part of DSDN is finding a community in such a very specific and supportive way, right? I think I heard about it. I had some pamphlets about it when she was first born, but it gets kind of lost in all of that. And so, like I said, I didn't really plug in until we were getting ready for her IUP. And I was
Okay.
scrambling for a community for questions and all of that stuff. And so once I got connected, I realized DSDN wasn't just one big group, but a lot of subgroups and a lot of supports, right? Tailored to very specific needs. And that really changed. It was a game changer for me. And so, it's one thing to ask a question to this big group hoping somebody will answer. With DSCN, there's specific groups for IEP support. That's how I kind of got started. And then GI issue is another group that we get about, and just with people who get it. So when I'm throwing questions, there's answers, there's suggestions, there's encouragement, and so that has been really helpful for me because we get kind of tired. Well, not tired, but discouraged sometimes and frustrated with the medical professionals with different solutions or not having any solutions. And specifically with the GI concern groups, it really helped me with come up with regimens and creams and all that stuff that really helped my daughter. And so beyond that, it's just kind of like an unspoken understanding. So when I found out about the DSDN, I found out about the retreat, I fundraised and I went and I got connected. And it's just like family, long lost family.
Right.
that gets it. So I found my tribe. I'm also part of the Black Families group. And so that really helped me belong and get going within the group.
No, I love that. And for those that don't know, the bread and butter of what we do is our birth groups. So we try to connect parents that have kids that are the same age, and we try to connect as early as possible in that journey. But some parents find us right away, and some parents, like you, they don't find us until they're searching for something specific. And that's where all of our topical groups come into play. We have over 100 group, or over 60, I guess over 100 groups total, but over 65 groups that are focused on different medical conditions as well as parent and family identities, so that parents can just go deeper in those lived and shared experiences. And we never kick people out of the group, even though our focus is 0 to 3. Once your child turns 4, it's not like you're booted. We really embrace those parents as the stories, the advice, the experience. It's key to what we do, because, my son's now 9, and I can share my experiences on the IEP, on academic stuff or medical stuff, and parents that are a few years ahead of me are helping to do the same for where we're at. So so true. What your experience has been is hopefully what others have seen in our groups as well.
Yeah.
Well, what is one way that DSDN has supported your family that was maybe unexpected?
I think in the same sense of that targeted support. There are many different groups, right, online and locally and stuff, but that having that targeted support uh, is really helpful, especially for us, or for me, with Hirschsprung's disease, which is a GI issue that
Yep.
we are
Anya has it
navigating
too.
through. And it's so hard, but we're doing really well now, And so when we had like a heart surgery, I was able to connect to two local moms, and they gave me a lot of great advice on it. But when we were going through the GI pull through surgery, I had no one. And so when I finally got connected, I realized what I was missing, really, And so, and I didn't really expect such an empowerment, I guess, within the group, as a parent, kind of juggling through appointments and different medical stuff. And, sometimes it's just like, it's a lot. But having the resource within DSDN has given me opportunity to be more proactive about things. She recently got her tonsils and adenoids removed, and I got all the tips from everybody. So her recovery was so smooth, thanks to everyone just empowering and giving tips and advice. And so, it's just those, it's small, but it's still huge, being able to have that kind of support. And it makes everything feel so manageable on this journey.
Right. Well, I'm so glad her surgery went well and that you felt like you got all of the support that you needed. I mean, there's been so many other families that have gone through that. It's very common
Yeah.
in our community. So yeah, all of the tips and the things that we learn and just being able to pass it on. And my son has Hirschsprung's disease too.
Mhm.
And I didn't know anybody locally that had
Yeah.
Down syndrome and Hirschsprung's either, but it is not common, but it's more common to hear it within our community. And so being able to connect people around GI issues, and Hirschsprung's is one of the main ones that we see in our groups. So now you have connections to hundreds of people that have that same diagnosis.
It's amazing.
Well, I've already mentioned how amazing you are as a volunteer. You are doing so much for us and the online support team. You're very creative in your posts, and you're empathetic to families. You're supportive. You just do a wonderful job supporting our parents. Why is this work important? Oh, do we get a little surprise guest? This is fun.
Hey. Yes. Okay. All right. See you later.
Oh, she's precious.
Thank you. Honestly, it's an honor to be able to volunteer and support parents and now other moderators, right? Giving back through DSDN is really meaningful for two reasons. And one, because of what I did get from this community, right? Once I started getting involved and stuff like that. And two, because of what I missed out on early on. And so I want to be able to be that, what I receive, I want to give right back. And so, again, like I said, I've connected with the local moms, but, I didn't have in specific other areas and stuff. So that really stuck with me. Dang, I really had that great support during heart surgeries, but I didn't have anybody during the GI surgery. And that really stuck with me. So now that I see that and I have that, I want to, again, be that for someone else. And, volunteering is really kind of second nature for me. Like I said, I'm a therapist by training or by day, right? So helping people is kind of what I really do, and it's part of who I am. And so, and I also used to be at our airlines. I'm also a flight attendant by night, and so I used to be a part of the peer support program there. And so, helping flight attendants through things only we understand. And now it's just kind of my audience shifted. And it's just now I'm supporting parents in things that only we understand. And so that really just makes sense to me, I guess, and so I just want to, again, be that. And so, again, now as a lead moderator, I get to support not just the parents, but also the moderators. And that's also really meaningful because then it feels like my kind of in my purpose, walking, in my purpose and my path, and to be able to do that. So honestly, it really just what fills my cup. And it's such an honor to be able to be a part of this and this great team.
Well, thank you. You're so good at it. And so we appreciate all that you've done and all that you're doing, because moving into a lead moderator position is a new position for you. Volunteer again with DSDN. So thank you for sharing your talents and your time to support our parents that are part of our community, and especially the brand new ones that are just starting out on this journey of raising their child with Down syndrome. And thank you so much for joining me today. We really appreciate your commitment for having just a few minutes to talk and to hear your story.
Hi, my name is Trish Robinson, and I'm the Executive Assistant for DSDN. I've been involved with DSDN since 2019. I've served as a moderator and as a social media director, but of course I'm also a parent. DSDN has been very important to me in my journey as a Down syndrome rockin' mom. Not only was I completely surprised of having a child at the age of 45, but then learning that my child was going to have Down syndrome. After Joseph was born, I found DSDN and created this network of other moms with kids that were the same age. Through that, I have gained a lot of knowledge and information and support. DSDN will always continue to be part of my life, and I hope that you will get just as much out of it as I have.
I have the opportunity to say thank you to a few of our volunteers who are so critical to what we do at DSDN, but you may not even know that their roles exist because they're working behind the scenes. They're our operations and support team. That includes Christy Cooper. Christy was our family support director for several years before she transitioned on to a new position with her local organization. And when she did that, she asked if she could continue to volunteer with us. And that's what she's doing today. She helps to coordinate our newsletter each month. So if you're on our distribution list and you get our email, you see the fruit of her labor each month as she helps to put all of that together. The next person is Jody Langford. Jody is our material distribution coordinator. And so if you've ever requested our free materials, she is the one that packages those up and gets them sent out. So we truly are appreciative of everything that she does, getting the word out, making sure parents know about us, making sure medical providers know about us. That's such a key part of who we are and what our future looks like, because we we intend to continue to grow and to reach more new and expectant parents. And so Jody is a huge part of that. And then finally, Trish Robinson. Trish is our executive assistant here at DSDN. She also coordinates our on-site auction that we do at the Rockin' Mom Retreat. Just an incredible person overall. She does so much for the Down syndrome community, both locally and nationally. And I truly can't do what I do without her by my side. So thank you, Trish. Thank you, Jody. And thank you, Christy. You are valued, you're appreciated. Thank you for being part of the DSDN team.